masculinity. What is masculinity? For me growing up, didn't really have a concept of it. Macho man, alpha male, never really resonated. Didn't grasp it as a young kid. In recent years, this question, what does it mean to be a man? And it's came to me, masculinity. Even the word masculine. What does a mask do? It covers. Cover your line. Masculinity is not granted. We all come into the world as a baby boy. Pure, innocent, vulnerable, ruled by our every desire. Upset if we don't get our way. Clingy, needy for attention, for warmth, for safety, for provision. Masculinity is not granted. Masculinity is earned. We must acquire it and cover our line. So what do I mean by this? Cover your line. Masculinity is like a sheath. We acquire the virtues, the principles, the tenets of masculinity. We acquire them. Where do we acquire them from? Our elders, great men before us. Let us stand on the shoulders of giants. It's the elders that set the culture, that say, look, son, there's a path that will lead you astray in life, and there is a path that will set you right. And it'll set your family right, and it'll set everything that you love right in order. Masculine. Cover your line, my man. We must draw the line. Structure and order for our spine to straighten in that integrity through grasping the principles of masculinity, the discipline, the self-sacrifice to a greater cause, the commitment, the responsibility, the presence, the courage, the strength, all of which we are not born with, my friend. We are not born with. These are not granted. The value of masculinity and the virtues of, we're not inherently born with it. We have potential for it, just like every good seed in the earth. It has potential to become a magnificent oak tree, but it's not granted. Not all of the trees weather the storm. Not all of them survive. Not all of them dig their roots deep enough. You know? About a year ago, coming back on the train from a Vipassana meditation retreat, there was an Indian man with me and there was a Chinese woman, and we were talking about men and masculinity and all this stuff. The Chinese woman said, Lewis, we have a crisis of masculinity in China. The Indian man also agreed, we have a crisis of masculinity in India. And I'm thinking, well, so do we. Here in the Western world, there is a crisis of masculinity. We have not drawn the line. We have not cut off the vice. We have not raised the standards of excellence and potential. And as a result, we live in weakness. Now, the Chinese woman told me, Lewis, we have a term for these men. And it's got so bad that Chinese women have been finding men in other countries to get married. The term they use is man baby. Man baby. He looks like a man. He's fully developed like a man, but he acts like a baby. No responsibility, high entitlement, kicks back, doesn't self-sacrifice, isn't courageous and strong and protective, does not provide leadership and containment. And it's because the Chinese boys they're revered as the prize. So special to have a boy. And of course, so special. But the mollycoddling, the mothers, again, generalization of course, but the mothers prepare all the food, all the meals, all the dinner, all the cleaning, all the ironing, everything for this young boy. And this little boy, little Lord Fauntleroy, he's just kicking back. He doesn't know any different. Why would he question it? Life's great. Because masculinity is not granted. Masculinity is something that we garner, something that we grasp, that we integrate, that we apply to our life through the application of the principles, discipline, self-sacrifice, honor, truth, integrity, leadership, courage, strength, self-restraint. When these are applied and integrated, the boy becomes a man. Now, in tribal times, they knew this. In tribal times, when the boy was either between 7 years old or a young teen, he would be stripped from his mother. The older men would take the boy away and they would send him out on some kind of initiation, either to hunt a wild animal, to survive in the forest and the woods alone for 4 days, 4 nights. Some of the native Indian tribes would hang hooks in the young boy's back and hang him from the rafters. And he had to stay there in the hot sun, hooked, and he wasn't allowed to squeal, demonstrating self-respect and self-restraint to earn his masculinity. Now, I believe that it's the man's role to lead, to provide and protect. In this modern age, we have feminism saying, no, we can be independent, we don't need men. This is a luxury within a time where warfare is not imminent. When the war strikes, the order returns. Because man is called to self-sacrifice. He is called to his highest destiny. The willingness to die for everything he loves and believes in that is beyond himself. This is a hugely significant thing. I would say that feminism is the result of this crisis of masculinity that we see all over the world today. Because when man does not draw the line on vice, on weakness, he allows vice and weakness to infect. And when this infects a man, he becomes tyrannical, he becomes self-absorbed. He cares less about the family, less about the tribe, less about the community, less about that extension of grace and service, and more about himself. When a man becomes self-absorbed, he becomes tyrannical, he becomes uncaring, he becomes ruthless and destructive and abusive. And it's no wonder women have turned their backs and said we need to provide for ourselves, because they cannot find men, and they have not found men that they truly respect. Men who have demonstrated these virtues of honor, of truth, of integrity, discipline, courage, respect, leadership, self-sacrifice. We have an opportunity here, an opportunity to reclaim our masculinity as men. How do we do this? How have we done it? How have our ancestors done it? Because again, it doesn't come naturally to young boys. Some are blessed with the demonstration of good men around them in their close circle. As they grow up, they learn these skills. But many men don't. Many men, they've not had this demonstrated to them. We see gang culture, for example. Young boys come from the single mother background, dad left, and they're looking for a male role model. Mum can't tell him what to do anymore. He must find it himself, but he goes into the wrong crowd, looking at the elders. This is my tribe. This is where I belong. This is what it means to be a man. Misguided. So my man, this is our opportunity to reclaim our power as men. It is so fantastic to be a man. We should be thrilled with that responsibility, with that power, to be a solid man worthy of respect. Women are yearning for respectable men to show up confidently as leaders and provide and protect containment. There's another thing too, which is just coming through here. Women, of course, how did they do it in the past? Well, women were taught from an early age the significance of their value. In modern day, the focus has been, certainly in the mainstream, promiscuity. Sell your body to get male attention. Give it away. OnlyFans, free pornography galore. Now, when women have been influenced in a way to lower their standards, the masculine spirit does not have to do much to obtain what he truly desires. The intimacy, the procreation, the connection, in whatever way. Through women raising their standards and saying, no, we have self-respect, we have self-worth. Man is met with a challenge. He must become the man worthy. We both have our roles here. Women have their roles, but I will say, my man, it's our duty to lead the way. It's our duty to lead first. We raise the standards. We raise the standards in our own lives. Surround yourself with powerful men, good, virtuous men, masculine men. Learn their ways, because there are principles that when learned and applied to your life will build every bit of you, and you will become everything you've dreamed of becoming, and it will be glorious. So that's my piece for today, my man. Till next time.